the pirate Legos as a kid. I had
pirate Legos.
I had the pirate ships. I had like the islands that the pirates would go to with like the native tribe people and
the Western Legos. I think I told that story about my uncle buying all those Western Legos for me. But they, did you ever have a friend or someone you know that is pretentious about the fact that it's Lego and not Legos?
No.
Yeah. It's like deer. The plural word for many Lego is Lego. And if you run into somebody who cares about it, they really care about it.
Actually, it's Frankenstein.
No, that's exactly what it is. And I'm just like, every time I met someone like that, I'm like, this is the hill you want to die on? I just like...
What?
Legos are such a fun thing. Like, don't...
Well, it's like...
Don't shame my grammar when I just want to build this airplane.
I think of... I mean, that just sounds like the Frankenstein's monster thing. His name is actually Link. Zelda's the princess. Like, just...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about some of those things. Yeah. Because it's Frankenstein's monster, you know.
Yeah.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr. Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein. Dude, that movie, I remember watching Young Frankenstein as a kid, and I fully enjoyed it, but as an adult, I watched it for the first time in a long time, like 2 years ago, and I'm like, this is so funny. It is so funny. Gene Wilder is an actual genius.
Yeah.
And
I haven't seen it in so long.
Dude, go back and watch it this October. I'll remind you. And it is the stupid funniest thing. Just brilliant one-liners that, as a kid, they'll just go right over your head. Oh, it's great. So,
hold on. Before we get going, I feel like there's normally 2 lights on the audio recording track.
Oh, what's going on?
Is this picking it up?
No, it's picking
yours. No, because when I had it on here.
What's
I
happening?
feel like it's...
Yeah, that's my mic. Oh, no. It didn't do anything.
No, it's picking up both.
That makes no sense.
Are they like merged or something?
They shouldn't be.
It's not like
unmuted or there you go. It was just glitchy or something.
I don't know. I'll find out in post.
Weird.
My guess is that was just a glitch of the
light.
Because I didn't do anything, so I don't know. Whatever. One time in the really early days of it, I just by nature of I pulled the faders down in between, when we were done, and then I would raise them back up.
Yeah.
And one time we were 5 minutes into the podcast, and I looked over and I was like, ah!
Faders
just casually, whoop. And then so I just had to use the audio from the cameras, and it was so roomy because we were in one of the other rooms, and it was just crazy echoey. And now we've got sound and
yeah.
our production value
way better.
skyrocketed. But yeah, so we'll see if I have to do that again. All right, so the good eye on that, by the way. So I was gonna write more, but frankly, I just kind of wanted to continue the celebration that the church is going to be debt free, and as of this Thursday,
yeah,
so
and it's weird.
Tomorrow, when you're watching this,
right? So you have to get a payoff quote date because interest compounds daily, and so that when they asked me that, I was like, well, what? Our next payment's not until whatever. Why does it matter? Because it happens daily. So anyway, you have to pick a day. That's just why I know what day it's happening. But yep.
So this is such a unique thing. I thought we'd spend a little more time talking about it. So does this change for you? How you envision the future and how you dream about what comes next? Because it has to this feels like just opening up lots of doors. And it's all right, possibilities are, while not endless, they're way up.
Yeah.
So.
It does help our budget this year. Just we've had some costs go up this year, and I don't want to write that out of our budget because then if we ever have debt in the future, you don't want to have to add that in cold. So I like to leave it in when I can and save up for the future if something breaks or whatever. But yeah, it helps a little bit there. A lot of it mostly is just the momentum and excitement that it produces, because, and this is something I had to go back and verify, like the church has never been debt free before.
Right.
So when we purchased the land, even though like the family who sold it to us was incredibly generous and sold it for pennies on the dollar, it's a really cool story, but they still had to, put some money down and kind of borrow some money to make it happen. And then they, built the first building pretty quickly and started raising money for it. And so there's, that then rolled into the second building campaign. And so we've gotten close. I think when I was talking to David and I talked to some of the other long-running church members, and I think we got down to maybe a couple $100,000 at one point in the past, but like, I don't think we ever got all the way down to zero. And so part of that is just exciting. You get to do the building dedication and celebrate it and burn the note and do all the fun things. So the main thing it does is it really builds momentum. But it also does alleviate. I mean, that's like whatever $50,000, $60,000 out of our annual budget. We don't have to, pay towards that. It saves us money in the long run because we're not paying interest, because it was going to take us another 5 or 6 years to pay this off, and we would have paid interest on it the whole time.
Right.
And so it saves us money in there. But really what it does is it frees us up as we think about what comes next, because we're going to have to raise more money in the future, even if it's just to, update and repair and replace the things that break over time. So our original building was built in 2008. So we're only 2 years away from 20-year lifespan, which is the lifespan for so many big things when you talk about air conditioners and heaters and roofs and lights and sound systems and all these things. Things are also way more efficient. You can get like windows that are more efficient now and AC units that have multiple speeds and things that can save you money when you upgrade them, just because the technology's changed a lot in 20 years. So whether it's raising money to do deferred maintenance or upgrading or expanding the campus, building something new. I mean, there's all these possibilities that people have kind of floated around for what we might do over the next, 5-10 years. This just makes that so much easier, because most of the time when you do campaigns as a younger church, and I would say we fall into that category for sure, but by that I just mean like under 50 years, you usually got debt because buildings are so expensive, and it usually takes, 10, 15, 20 years to pay that off. And so typically when you have to do any kind of fundraising campaign, you have to do debt reduction as a part of it. And that is tough because nobody wants to pay for debt. And so if you're carrying around like, 2 churches ago, like our overall property had like $7 million in debt. And so if you're trying to build something, I think we were running like a $9 million campaign. Like you have to funnel some of that towards debt and some of that towards new construction. And it's just, you can only do so much because you don't want to increase your debt limit so high that you can't afford it. Like you can't pay your mortgage. It'd be like moving into a house you can't afford. And so part of the nice thing
practical answer, everything you just listed, all these practical, air conditioners and roofing.
It really is. Well, because a lot of times people don't want to pay for those kind of things. So if you come into a new campaign and we think about, okay, we're going to be 20 years old soon. If we had still had that, $300,000, $400,000 in debt when that time came, we'd have to say, okay, well, we're going to try to pay off the existing loan. We're going to try to do some of these repair works, and then maybe we'll have some left over to do something new. Well, now we can go in and say, well, we don't have anything in debt to pay. All we're looking at is upgrades, making sure we're replacing the things so we have longevity. We don't just want to sit around and wait for some hugely expensive thing to break. And then where do we want to go? Who do we want to be? How are we going to grow? We've maxed out in a lot of our spaces. And also, what do we want to put our money towards, and what do we want to be as a church? And so that's all the work we're doing over the next year, which we were going to do anyway. Is just the last 5 years, our goal was survive the pandemic, but we don't really have, now that time has passed, we don't really have what specifically are we trying to do? We have an identity, but like, where are we trying to go? What goals are we trying to achieve? What areas do we want to focus on? What are the kind of hurts and needs in our community? If somebody new is moving to Fairview, what are they looking for in a church? So we just haven't really had those conversations for a while.
Hopefully a lot of people that know how to cook chili, 'cause
Yeah,
then-
exactly.
That's what I will look forward to church. People who can make really good chili.
Look, man, Methodists are nothing if not eating. We love to eat. So
Okay, so there's a little side note. Give me some of Alex's opinions on chili.
Okay, so I have lived for a very long time in Texas. I didn't grow up here. And so I don't have, and I'm not saying that if you grew up here, you have this ingrained in you, but there is definitely that, like, in Texas, chili does not have beans in it. I don't care.
I don't either. I mean, if I'm making it, I choose to base it off of my audience. Like, who am I making this
Right.
for? That will determine what I do.
I choose to base it, definitely that, but I choose to base it primarily off of what am I putting it on. So if I'm just having it by itself, maybe I'll make some cornbread to go with it or something. Anything's on the table. We can put, brisket in it. We can put beans in it. We can put anything in it. If I want it on a hot dog, for one, for nostalgia reasons, give me a can of Wolf brand chili, man. Throw it on a hot dog. But so for that, I want a very simple, no beans, no fluff. Just give me the simple chili for the dog, or a hamburger or something. I don't want it to be too soupy or dominate the flavor. But if it's just by itself, I think you can get really
eating chili by
experimental.
itself feels weird. It's just this is a...
It's like a bowl of chili.
Yeah, it's just like a bowl of chili. I think that's kind of a weird thing to eat by itself with no cornbread or Fritos or anything like that.
We put it on macaroni elbow noodles at our house. Do chili mac. The kids are more likely.
That just feels like a hamburger helper kind of thing, which is great.
No, I love it. That Fritos, cornbread, just kind of anything.
Fritos for me, Fritos, some shredded cheese, and a little bit of sour cream. If the chili and the chili's still the star of the show.
It is hard to find a chili I'm not going to eat in any form or identity or composition. Every time I do, we'll go to a chili cook-off, or we'll have one at the churches I work at. People will make all very spicy. They'll put venison in it, or you got all these. I'll take it all.
All right, so if one is there might be some spice, but that also just could be pepper, and 10 is the bomb beyond insanity from Hot Ones. Where do you like your chili?
So I like it with a little bite, but I don't want it to overwhelm the flavor of it, because I feel like
let's assume they all have great flavor. Where do you want it?
In the middle.
Like a 5?
Yeah, maybe a 6. Since I've married Emma, her family they're from Louisiana, and Cajun families, they spice everything. And I grew up in a very spiceless household. And so
Are you Irish?
I would say that I probably would have started at a 1 or a 2 growing up, but now I think I'm pushing beyond that. But I don't like things to be hot for the sake of being hot. I don't enjoy that. I have no interest in the one chip challenge or any of these spicy, prove your worth. I'm not going to, first of all, I can't handle enough to, be impressive. But also to me, when the spice, when the heat overwhelms the flavor, so you kind of lose the taste of it, and it becomes all about the hot sauce or all about the spice. I get that's for some people and they love that. That's just not for me.
I will seek out crazy hot things, but if it's hot for the sake of hot with no flavor, I want both all the time. I don't ever want just hot, because at that point there's no payoff.
Yeah. Well, I definitely, if I'm going to go get a taco platter or something, and they're going to be different tacos, and one of them I want to go for it and get a really hot one, I always eat that one last, because sometimes it messes with your taste buds, and then you can't taste the next one.
Have you ever heard about that pizza place around here that does it's like a roulette pizza? So they'll bring it out for a group or a family or a couple or whatever, and one slice, and they all look the same.
No,
and one slice has got ghost pepper intensity on it.
I'm not here for that. I think
that's hilarious.
They're not for me.
I've had friends who have done it, and you always hear the story from the point of view of the person who got the one
of
slice.
course, yeah.
And they're
because everybody else thinks it's hilarious. Yeah. Either you have a high likelihood of having a great night or a low probability of having a horrible night. And that's just, those odds are. When I was younger and more adventurous, I think I would have enjoyed that a lot more. But now, if I'm going to go, I think probably I'm just jaded because we never go to restaurants because it's untenable with our kids. So, the other day, man, we went to a restaurant. There was an event, kids event at the church without them. So there was a parents' night out at Emma's church. So we dropped the kids off and went to a semi night. It wasn't a fancy restaurant, but it It had real menus that weren't laminated. So we
Thank you for
sat down.
specifying.
Yeah, we got like appetizers and we got a dessert, and it was like a real meal. Well, there was a table next to us where it was parents with 2 young kids, and their kids were like watching tablets, and like they were a little loud and kind of, I didn't even notice. And so they get up and come over, and the mom is like, I'm so sorry that our kids were so disruptive. And I was like, I honestly didn't know there were children at the table next, because I don't even hear it anymore. Just, I've been so desensitized. But all to say, like when we get into a restaurant, Emma and I are like, we're going to sit here for 3 hours. They're like, well, in all the questions. So I grew up, this is another fun question I'll have to ask people. Did you grow up in an appetizer family or a no appetizer family?
I was a no appetizer family, and now as an adult, I always get appetizers.
I feel like you overcorrect.
I overcorrect. And the thing is, like, the only appetizers that we would ever get, if you even count this, is chips and salsa.
Yeah, well, because that comes with it.
It does come with it. So in that case, it would be, do you buy the queso? And then
that would maybe be the farthest we went. But I remember growing up, like it was akin to like the snacks in the mini bar in a hotel. Like you will not touch it. So like the appetizer, the starters, it was never like, from what I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure we did sometimes, but like I just don't think, and I have come to learn as an adult, like you were either an appetizer family or you weren't.
Yeah, it's kind of this weird realization that when you're a little kid, you get in your head that certain things are crazy expensive.
Right.
And then as an adult, you're like, these aren't expensive
really
at
that
all.
bad. Yeah.
Like for me, I grew up thinking batteries were somehow like insanely
I'm
expensive.
sure your parents
and like
drilled that into you.
You know, like my dad would like hide the batteries and you have to ask permission.
Right.
Dad, I need 2 AA's. 2?
Yeah, I remember at Christmas I'd be like, I need 6 C batteries. It was like some remote control car. The look on my parents'
Do you want me to refinance the house while I'm at it?
I gotta go farm those out of the ground. I can't have C batteries.
And then as an adult, I'm like, batteries are so cheap. And they were cheap back then too. I had to look this up. And then little things that I thought were really cheap, and it turns out they're insanely expensive. Like fruit
insurance.
Like
God, the
cheese,
fruit we go through with our
cheese
kids.
Is so expensive.
Yeah. Well, and our kids, like,
crazy.
they either will eat. We were just joking about this because our kids were eating, like, Margot wanted a banana or something, and it was the last one. And Emma was like, I bought literally like 12 bananas yesterday. And our kids are either, the limit does not exist and you could never buy enough.
Or they don't want to eat anything.
Or they don't want to eat anything. So the next time I go to the grocery store, like, I'll tell you this week, because we're out of bananas now, I'll go to the grocery store tonight and I'll buy a bunch of bananas and I'll have to eat them all on Thursday because the kids will just let them sit there. And I'm like, well, that's like $7 in produce. So
I love it. I used to do that with, if my mom would buy a jar of pickles, I would kill the whole jar immediately as soon as we get home.
You're a pickle person.
I loved pickles growing up. Now I'm very particular about the pickles. Like I'm not just pickle for the sake of pickle.
I wish I liked pickles because I like in like a sandwich or in anything, I like the mixture of hot and cold. I like a crunch in something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like a burst of flavor. I hate pickles. I hate the flavor.
That's so interesting.
I can't stand it. The only thing that I'll do it in is deviled eggs. But I get the relish, I get sweet relish, but I chop it even more fine, or I'd blend it because like I want the flavor and I want a little bit of crunch, but relish can so quickly dominate the experience.
Yep.
I don't want that to be my experience.
See, sweet pickles to me are disgusting. I cannot do
like dill pickles.
Dill pickles. I want and I'm very particular about those too. Most store bought dill pickles,
like crunch or no crunch.
Oh, I definitely want some crunch.
Okay,
yeah, I mean that's half the joy. Yeah. But I like salty things and I like savory things, and a really well craft pickle it'll give you that, and I want that heat too. Which
no, it's not for me. The thing that I really hate is there are commonly pickles on so many things I love. So there's always pickles on sandwiches. There's always pickles on like chicken sandwiches.
Oh, see, I love chicken, like a hot chicken sandwich.
No. And the problem is a pickle will ruin it. You can't take the pickle off.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like it wasn't there. No, now your entire thing tastes like salty pickle. And I'm like, you've ruined everything for me.
Okay, so with that, then what is the perfect hamburger, cheeseburger, whatever? What is the perfect, what do you put on it? What do you not put on it?
So I like if there's anything having to do with like barbecue or bacon or chili. I love a good chili burger, the brisket burger, bacon, lots of different kinds of cheeses, or I'm okay.
Build me the burger.
I'm
build me
okay
a
with
perfect.
like crispy onions. So I like onion rings, but I don't want like a thick onion in it. I like thinner onions in it because I want to taste the onion, but I don't want it to dominate the experience where I'm like biting into a raw onion because a lot of times they're not cooked as much. So
What condiment do you put on the burger, or is it the barbecue
It
sauce?
depends on what it is. I like a barbecue sauce.
All right, so let's just say we're doing a classic cheeseburger. How do you build it?
I don't put a whole lot on it. I like bacon. I like different kinds of cheese. That's like a pepper jack. I love a pepper jack, or I could do a Swiss, American, cheddar. I mean, pretty much any kind. Swiss, bacon.
Swiss is a
Some
very
sauces. You know, when I make burgers at the house, I do like a mixture of spicy ketchup, barbecue sauce, and A1, and like mix it all together. And it's a good little flavor. My problem is I'm not a big fan of the mayonnaise sauces or the honey mustard sauces. So like I love cane sauce, but like Chick-fil-A sauce and honey mustard, like it's okay.
It's basically all like a Thousand
I don't
Island
seek
dressing.
it out. It is, but most like burger sauces are some version of like a Thousand Island kind of ranch sauce, and I'm like, it's okay, but it's not. I'd rather have something a little more tangy or a little more like, give me something like a spicy ketchup or like a chipotle aioli or like something that's like,
I could do a Chipotle. I'll mess with that.
like something a little different. But yeah, I don't. My problem is like I enjoy vegetables. I don't like them on a burger because I have an issue with the temperature. Like I don't want a hot piece of lettuce. Like there's a time clock, like a club sandwich with a good piece of lettuce on it, or like a toasted sandwich. Like I used to love Quiznos. This really turned into a food episode. And I
hope you're like watching this during your lunch.
Yes, I love like a hot sandwich with like a crispy cold piece of lettuce on it. But if it gets too hot, then it's like a weird hot slimy. I don't want that. Or I hate shredded lettuce. But like if a tomato gets too hot, I'm like, oh.
What do you think? Okay, so what is the
me.
best sandwich out there that you can get?
The best sandwich?
Yeah, like if any kind of sandwich, like PB&J, BLT.
No, I'm with you.
What like?
I'm sure you've seen that where Ryan Gosling answers Stephen Colbert's question with it's an ice cream sandwich. Yeah, it's his best. I love a good club sandwich, especially if it's on a croissant. Like
croissant.
A croissant. Yes, like turkey, ham, bacon,
multiple meats.
Like
it all.
Oh yeah, I love it all. I like a mustard. Just like a straight up yellow mustard.
Yeah, classic French's mustard.
I like it. Yes, and like a big crispy piece of lettuce or like romaine can be good.
Either romaine or iceberg, because those are going to have that crunch and not like give you too much extra flavor.
Right. Yeah, I love those. I love a French dip though.
Oh gosh, a French dip
like just
is
roast beef in the
in the au jus.
Yeah, I never know how to say it
Au jus
appropriately, but. No, I love that. I'm down as long as the roast beef is good. Sometimes it's like too fatty, and then it's like I can't roll with it.
A good French dip is hard to beat.
I love a French dip. I love a meatball sub. I love a cheesesteak.
Oh gosh, a Philly cheesesteak is incredible.
These are my things. But when I make a sandwich at home, and I mean, a sandwich is probably every third meal for me because like my go-to, because the kids eat a lot of stuff at the house. They'll have like corn dogs or dino nuggets or
bananas.
PB&J or bananas or fruit or whatever. And grilled cheese, quesadilla, all these things. And so, but I'll often make a sandwich. And my sandwich is often, what is that? There's some show where they're describing the way to build a sandwich. And they're like bread, cheese, sauce, meat. The sandwich is like this. This is just like a giant ball of meat. Anyway, but I've started to experiment. Last night, I threw together. I ran out of Swiss. Swiss is like my go-to, but I ran out. But we had like thin slice, and I want thin sliced cheese. I want thin sliced cheese. I want thin sliced meat. If it's thick, it doesn't work well. So it was ham, turkey. I think that might have been all I had for that one. But then I had like some cheddar, like thin sliced cheddar jack, some provolone, some mustard.
I love provolone.
My favorite thing this is what I forgot. I don't care what kind of burger it is, I want a fried egg on it.
Oh,
I don't care what kind of burger it is. I want a fried egg. I want a fried egg on anything.
Do you want the fried egg with like where as soon as you bite into it, the yolk starts like coming?
Oh yeah, I want to.
Do you get to mop it up with fries or whatever?
Exactly, sweet potato fries. Those are my favorite kind of fries.
See, I don't know. They get a little sweet sometimes.
They got to be done well.
I'm not anti. I'll just take like a regular fry over it, and above that, I might even take, depending on how well they do it, tater tots.
I'm not a tater tot guy.
Oh man, good tater tots are just they're even crunchier than fries.
My son wanted tater tots at Sonic the other day, and I was like, "Whose child are you? We are not a tater tot family.
We are not a tater tot.
He ate them all. That kid will eat a potato in any form, but it's good, man. I don't know.
Okay, so if we
anyway, we're debt free as a child.
Oh man, that went to food so fast. Oh gosh,
I'm so hungry.
Same. Gonna die. Here we go.
Anyway.
So what would be the frivolous thing that you're like, well, I would love for this to happen with some upcoming funding that we have?
So I don't know. So that's what we're doing over the next year. And I mean, right now, what I would love to have is just for all of this to allow us to do ministry and continue all these like hopes and priorities we have. Because one, like a year of transition is tough. There's uncertainty. And when you're trying to figure out year to year budgets, like there's volatility in that every year. And so that's always my first priority when I come into a new appointment is like, we want to try to maintain consistency and stability. We don't want to have to make a bunch of big changes, and we're not planning to. But I think that element one is like trying to lay that groundwork, for that, and then begin to dream and hope and vision. And so I don't know, when I think about, there's 100 different possibilities for what we could do, in the sense of adding on something new or creating a new program or new ministry. I think that my hope in there is both the balance, like the three things of like, what do we need? The things that aren't super exciting, but we need them.
Well, you listed all those at the beginning.
Yeah, well, air conditioners, whatever.
Hey, in Texas, if your air conditioners are all running smoothly,
yes,
you are on top of the world.
You don't notice how much you need it till you need it. But it's, like classroom space, office space, like we've had to retrofit and redo so many classes and offices that like none of them are really ideal. I mean, some of them are, but I don't mean to say none of them are, but expanding some of that, really investing in our youth. Like in our phase 2, we built this incredible children's wing, but like our youth, and having the youth house is so cool because it's kind of like the youth have their own space.
Yeah.
But like it needs some love and needs some help. But I think primarily, kind of when I think about like fun wish list things that would be really cool is either some sort of like covered outdoor, like basketball gazebo kind of thing. So we could do some like covered outdoor events because it's nice to be outside, but it's hot. So some kind of covered outdoor thing. But primarily I would love to have like a large multi-purpose meeting space because we don't have, and like that has like a commercial kitchen on it. Ooh. Because we don't really have a place to like do big church-wide meals. That's not like out in the hallway. And we have like a prep kitchen, but we don't have like a real kitchen. And we don't have a place to like for the youth or VBS to like play dodgeball inside in the summer.
Yeah.
Or to have like a bigger funeral reception or something. Like there's just not really 110 is decently sized, but it can't fit the whole church by far. And also it's a nicer room. You don't want to play dodgeball in there. You'll break too much.
Speaking of which, why do all churches end up calling a room like that the Family Life Center? I can't tell you how many churches I've worked at or been to. Fellowship Hall or Family Life Center.
The multi-purpose.
We can't think of any other names. Like, come on. Like, just go crazy. And
I did think about you when we were talking about annual conference last week. So the venue we're having annual conference in is in Wichita Falls, and the pastor from Wichita Falls kept talking about we're going to the Impact and the Impact, and I'm like, are you saying Impact? Like what are you saying? It's like, no, the Impact, MPEC. It's Multi-Purpose Event Center is what it stands for. But everyone in Wichita Falls calls it the Impact. Yeah, I know. And I was like, John would hate this. He would hate this name.
That is so lame. So anyways, and lazy.
We're going to the Impact.
Like, we're gonna.
So my like proposition is to have the
Gene Company.
John Hames Memorial Multi-Purpose Event Center for fun fellowship.
Did John die?
Yeah,
no, he just he was John's really passionate.
He really loved it. No, but I do think like having some kind of like flexible space where you could play games, you could have a big meal, like just kind of a big open room that was like sturdy for fun kids and youth stuff, but also also could be a nicer meal space. Because I don't think like building a full indoor gym is insanely expensive. And then it's hard. You don't mess it up with the wood floor in that space. But also like, if you just build a youth room that's dedicated only for the youth, it still has these other issues. So I don't know, if I were sort of thinking like something that I think would be really cool, a new thing that would be really cool for our church, I feel like we could get so much use out of just a big open room that also has a nice kitchen that you could actually do some like cooking in. And we did that. I mean, they do some of that stuff here with the youth, but just like fun cooking events for the kids. And you can just prepare a lot more. We would do like pancake breakfasts and stuff at churches that I've had that had like big commercial kitchens or dodgeball tournaments or, you know, knockout tournaments or just fun big games like that. And especially in the summer,
pick up
like
basketball.
It's so hot. And like right now, there's just not a great place unless we clean out all the chairs in the sanctuary. And then I'm worried like we're playing dodgeball with guitars and projectors and everything around.
Oh, we'll
like,
definitely break everything.
Yeah, that's not a good space. So anyway, there's a million possibilities for what we could do. And so I think that that's where we're going to have to do this work over the next year, is figure out like, what do we really need?
That was one of the original plans
And where we go.
what is our worship center now, was that it was going to be the worship center, and then in the future they were going to build a bigger sanctuary worship center, and then that would be retrofitted into be the multi-purpose room, the impact or whatever.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you know, if somebody walks in and wants to write us a $5 million check, I mean, we'll do it.
Yeah,
we'll build whatever people want.
Easy.
But I think the conversation in all of this, it is super fun to talk about the tangible things like upgrades and improvements and building stuff and all those like big eye-catching things. But the part of this work that I'm excited that it starts with is just these questions of who are we and why? Like, who do we want to be? Why? Where are we going? Who do we want to be a church for? How can we reach out into our community? Who do we want to be missionally? And I think that that's where it can be really easy in these moments to just be, you know, kind of like you joke, like super practical, like just looking at the needs and like, what do we need as a church for our people to like enjoy being here more or be able to do more stuff here. And we don't think about the people who aren't here or where we're going or how trends are changing or all of that. And so I think that's a big part of this is, you know, where are we going? Why are we going there? If we want to grow, great. Why? And to what size? Like, we can't just grow forever. So like where are we trying to get to so we can celebrate that, make a goal, make a plan? The goal can't be grow indefinitely forever. I mean, as Christians, it is.
Well, it sounds great, but
this property can only hold so many parking spaces. So like, there's only so many things we can do on this property. And this property is so tied to who we are. I think trying to look at that and not just say like, oh, the pond is cool. Oh, the barn is cool. But like, okay, if those are more of the like identity fixtures and features of the property, like, do we try to highlight them or do something, build a little fishing dock or like, I don't know, I'm just making stuff up, but like, do we create something like an outdoor worship space or a labyrinth or a prayer garden or something where we can do kind of some, you know, memorializing or people when they pass away or whatever.
Build a
like
labyrinth here?
There's all kinds of stuff we might be able to do, but I think that's where, to come back to your initial question, like that's what being debt-free does, is it allows us to dream and hope for the future, knowing like we truly have a blank slate. Like, yes, this is all going to cost money and it's incredibly expensive, but we're not burdened by anything that we're carrying from the past. We truly have a blank slate, really financially and missionally, because like I said, the goal for the last 5 years has been survive the pandemic. And so any sort of like real strategic plans either haven't been church wide or they were a while ago, or the world has changed since the pandemic. Like, we kind of have a blank slate to say, here's who we are. Here's what we do well. Here's what our community needs. Who do we want to be when we look, 5, 10, well, I guess 3, 5, 10, 50 years in the future? What does that look like? And you have to guess at some of those things, but it's such an exciting conversation. And this, like, being debt free is the best launching pad from that, because it allows you to do that more freely. And it gives you confidence to know we can do this. Like, we have built huge things, and what we're looking at is not nearly as big as what already exists. And so, being able to leverage that going forward is really fantastic. So it's a good day.
It is a good day to be at Creekwood. I can agree with that. Cool. Well, hopefully you enjoyed your sandwich while you were watching this episode.
It's time for burgers.
I'll put down in the description below, like, buy a sandwich before watching.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be hungry. Don't watch if you're hungry. It's like don't go to the grocery store if you're hungry.
Oh, it's the worst. You end up buying the dumbest stuff.
I buy so much stuff.
It's ridiculous.
I bought a full-size candy bar because I had to go pick up my son's medicine, and I was in Walgreens and I hadn't eaten all day. And like the only thing that like caught my eye was this Three Musketeers bar, and I was like,
I haven't had Three Musketeers in a minute.
Yeah, people hate on it because it's just nougat, but I really like it.
I don't know how you dislike it. It's
I ate
delicious.
the whole thing. It's the first like actual like full-size candy bar I think I've had just like in one sitting in like 20 years. But
I can't. And now I'm trying to think about it. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us.
See you next week.
Dream big. If you come up with a brilliant idea or have a $5 million check for us to build something cool, let us know. See you later.
See y'all.